Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchtime chat. Thank you, Dania, for hosting this.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Chris, for being live with the community today. We have a topic to introduce, which is robust AI.
Yes, indeed. So robust AI is actually something you can find on the website of the AI Guild. So the guild.ai, and then robust AI is where you find more information if you want to click. So what is robust AI and why do we call it robust AI? To my mind, and we discuss this now. One is about commercialization. Two, it's about deployment, and three is about scaling. So what does that actually mean? Commercialization, deployment, scaling. Well, it means really that I think AI deployment in Europe and perhaps worldwide is at the moment where companies are looking to commercialize. And commercialize means actually make money or save money. This can be in having a recommender system that is for the end customer, but it may also mean optimizing processes or optimizing production processes or reducing scrap. But it's commercialization in the sense that it's the point where the deployment of it is supposed to make money or save money. So there's a clear business case. And then actually you need to deploy it technically, check the feasibility and do it well enough so that you make or save that money. Otherwise, what are you doing? And then the point is, once you start doing that, it needs to scale. So it can be that you have a use case and you're kind of partially deploying it and you need to scale the whole use case that you're looking at. So maybe there's a part of the production process that you're optimizing to save money, but then really the question is, can I do it for the whole production process? And then the other one that comes to my mind is like, I have use case 1, use case 2, use case 3. So the company would want to have a platform, an integrated data platform where everything is so that they can scale across the enterprises, the use case they have in a commercially meaningful way to either make money or save money. That's what I think is meant with robust AI. How do you see that?
Yes, you're quite right. It's about having the confidence to not only technically, but also to business-wise be able to use data analytics and machine learning. So it's about understanding what are the challenges or the pain points in regards to saving money or making money, and understanding how you can use that the data together with analytics and machine learning models to be able to commercialize in that sense. So you need to first deploy it. And about the scaling, yes, you're quite right. There's different ways to look at the scaling aspect. One could be, like you said before, maybe you have one use case in one area of the organization, but you could also leverage that knowledge from the technical perspective to apply it to different data from different business areas and still benefit from the solution without having to invest again, let's say, in the technical aspects.
Yes, exactly. I agree. Yeah. So you need to have the business case, right? And I think also, I mean, if you're watching us today or would like to ask us some questions, a question that comes to mind. So for whom is this? So we're talking about robust AI. Who's the company that can use this, or who's the customer? So I think the first thing is actually that we're looking for companies to partner with that have the will and the budget to deploy this. So you need to be clear that you're at the moment where you want to commercialize this. Then the other thing that comes to my mind is that we can actually do this across industries and functional use cases. This is the benefit of the AI and having 1,100 members and precisely having both the breadth of expertise across industries and functional use cases. So we always have members that will cover this, but also the depth, and the depth we have because we have this background with the practitioners from mid-level to CTO, CDO, and generally leadership, startup founders, and so on. So we can cover it in the depth and in the breadth. So key is actually really this will and budget to deploy. And then the other thing that I'm thinking is it needs to be a company that has an existing data team that is already doing things, that is somewhere between just doing POCs and actually deploying use cases, likely has a size of 10 to 20 or something like that. Perhaps a bit more, perhaps a bit less, but something like this. And actually will and budget to deploy and scale means the company is probably also looking to grow the team. So if you're 15, probably you need to go to 30, otherwise you're not scaling across the enterprise. I mean, you're not on the road to doing that at all. So I think that's who the ideal partner is. How do you see that?
Yes, I think that the ideal partner is pretty much like you described it, but the company that is serious about their data strategy. So it's not only a proof of concept, or it's not only a project that 2 people, 3 people, 5 people work on, but it's really something that they want to scale across the company and do for multiple use cases.
Yes, indeed.
And
So
that's also where the challenges are, right?
So how do you see those challenges?
I mean, there's a difference between working with a static data set that you find to answer some questions that come up. This is where you can deliver some proof of concept or proof of value that there is something there to do, taking insights or applying some models to the data. It's different to do that in a way that it's fitting to the business needs. So it could be that it's real time, it could be that it's once a day or once a week, but in a way that you need to make sure that the data that you use to train your model is always coming, and that it's always this or similar format, the same that you expected for the model, for example. So there needs to be a data pipeline that is continuously ingesting and monitoring the quality of that data. Then you also need to deploy your model and make sure that you are monitoring it so you don't lose performance. And then you need to see that whatever is the output is being used or is integrated with the current process, or if it's going to be correctly integrated in the final app or software that the user is going to interact with. So to make all of that happen, it's a lot of moving pieces. So it's, for once, it's already a puzzle that you have to find the right pieces and connect them, but it's also moving. So the data is changing, people are changing, the business needs, maybe they also maybe not change, but get refined, and you understand better what is it that you need. So all of that, around all of that, we have a lot of challenges, not only from the technical aspects, but also from the process itself. Like how to communicate that between different people, between different teams, how you can keep track of the developments, what's happening, and what is maybe something that you thought you could do in 1 week, now you did it in only 2 days, or the other way around. You think you would do it in 2 days, but then you need a week. So all of that comes to play, especially when you have company that is trying still to understand what is the value that you can take from the data to business.
Okay, thank you. So I think this is what you're describing is something that if somebody was looking at the website, they would find. So I think you spoke to use case evaluation, the technical feasibility of things. So one of the things that we can actually do is come and work with a company to ascertain the technical feasibility of the use cases, improve it, describe and discuss what needs to be done so that it's deployable and scales. And the next thing that you mentioned actually then is the scaling the data infrastructure. So what needs to be there and prepared in the background, like in daily updates or real time, so that this thing works. Perhaps also building new pipelines, because if you want to scale a use case or scale across use case, you may need a better integrated data infrastructure. That's number 2. Number 3 was something I alluded to earlier, is like structure and grow the team so that you understand that you are investing. You of course need a return on investment, something we can look at. Does this business case make sense? But you will need to grow not just your infrastructure, but also the expertise around it to make it happen. I wanted to use this to also get you to look at. I mean, you've been in the industry for a while. And when I look at it, I think there's sometimes issues around confidence and trust. You have experience inside startups, larger German companies, e-commerce, and so on. So, I mean, are there issues around this?
The quick answer is yes, but it depends on what do you mean by confidence or trust. Because I think there's different levels that we can discuss, right? Because there is the aspect of trust in the technical feasibility or technical aspects. And that is pretty common in any area. I would say that you need to trust the experts or the people that have the knowledge about the solution that is going to be built. So if you're, I don't know, if you're also building an app, you have to trust your developers that they know how to best implement the solution, or how to write the code, or how to structure the code. And that is something that happens a lot in data, because also it's a quite new field, right? So it's one thing to understand the concepts from math and statistics. It's another thing to know how to program, but it's yet a third and different thing when you understand how to put it together. And then you have to do it, like you said, to show the return on the investment of the company. So the company is investing in people they hire, in the technology, and you want to use all of that to show some return, which is either making money or saving money in the end. So there is this the confidence or trust issue in that level, that you have to trust the people that understand how to combine data and programming, and provide them possibly with a business understanding, so together all of this can work.
Okay. Yes, I see. And then I was wondering, so if we turn it around, so if somebody is now listening or watching, and understands that their company is at this moment where they should be looking at deployability, scalability, and making the business case work, what is it that the AI Guild actually provides there? What is it that we can do beyond, the technical support or the business support? And I think one of the things that we have got going is that we have this broad membership. So the 1,100 members, most of which are experts that have been in the field for quite a while, sometimes 10, 15 years. So really that. And that if inside a company there are issues around making the case, and also getting leadership on board, getting the board to approve the budget and so on, and make this happen, that we're probably in a position to kind of help in a friendly kind of way, without interfering with the company, obviously, but from, so to speak, in a supportive manner, perhaps even from the sideline, where we can point out how other companies have done this, what other companies have done to make this work, what the returns were, what were roadblocks, how to get around the roadblock, how to ensure the success, and what a company needs to do. So I think we have the examples, we have the stories, and I think most important of all, if there are difficulties, help is only a phone call away. So there is always somebody that we can talk to that will help us resolve these issues and help the company resolve these issues. And to my mind, I was thinking, so to speak, about the year ahead. I think what we're probably looking for is like 2, 3, 4, 5 partners for the next year that are serious about this, that want to partner up with the AI Guild and actually make this work for their company. Which brings me on, to speak. So what's the value? Yeah. So we're speaking and we're also advertising it. What is the value if you're thinking of partnering with the AI Guild? We spoke a lot about making it work and making it scalable, but I think really the chance in the German European context is that now is the time when companies can make a decision to go and be the industry leader, and go and be the industry leader to kind of stand out for the way they deploy machine learning, the way it works, and the way it creates value. And then it does 2 things for those companies, really. One is it attracts customers, because the customer experience will get better, and there are benefits for people in having this support, this kind of enhanced experience or use case through machine learning. And the other thing is, you really start attracting the experts and the talent, because if you're known as the company that, for example, is in the field of e-commerce and now has real-time machining applications that run, this is where everybody else wants to work. So I'm thinking that, what's the value here is to be the industry leader. How do you see that?
It plays in different ways, because then you can attract both people that want to use your product better, or it's enhanced and has a better experience for the user, but also you can attract more experts, you can attract more talents, and people that are also looking for more than just a job, but they're looking to have a career in data. I think that's the example we have for a lot of companies in the US, and we should be looking to have more of those around here as well. I see
more of what?
More of those companies that are serious about what they do with the data, and that they both provide a better experience or a better product for their customers, but then also provide the employees or the data professionals with challenges and opportunities to learn, to deploy, to have impact, and to also grow in their careers because they're doing that at their work. And I think that for a company that is that has this sort of ambition, let's say, what the AI Guild can do is to support with this collective knowledge and come with the lessons learned. So you don't have to try it by yourself and waste time, let's say, to learn what we already know from all the AI Guild members that have been in the field for, as you mentioned, 10, 15, or 20 years already. It's
Yes,
a catalyzer.
yes, exactly. That's sort of kind of like a really interesting idea because it kind of says, stop reinventing the wheel, benefit from the experience, knowledge and expertise that is around, utilize it. And I think precisely the chance that we have here is to provide that. And to provide it in a different, in a number of ways. So obviously, one of the things is you may want to grow your team. So you actually need to attract experts and talents. You need to hire and grow. Maybe you can also, and we would also know how to do that, upskill. So work with the employees that you have. Mm-hmm. Some companies have been doing that successfully, and we know that they have domain experts and they upskill to data analytics or data science and have that then in their portfolio as well. And precisely, it goes so nicely together. You have the domain expertise and the data proficiency, and that's where things start to happen. So hire or upskill, one. But the other thing is also simply that we have this really broad network and that we can provide support kind of like on occasion almost, yeah. So it can be a deal whereby we support regularly over a number of weeks or months, but it can also mean that we have these accredited leaders, that an accredited leader is available for a discussion at random or set intervals, perhaps preferably set intervals, to give input, give feedback, to evaluate what's been going on, and thereby we be able to help companies actually really move faster. Because we can from upskilling and hiring through to team building and help supporting with the deployment and kind of acting as support and working for them for a number of weeks or months. We then also have people that can come in kind of like on occasion to really move things forward. So it's a support offer that should help companies really, I think, accelerate that journey.
Here's my ideas. For example, if the company potentially has a CTO but not a CDO, right? So it's someone that understands the technology side but is not specific on the data side of things. And to have the possibility to talk to someone that could serve as this kind of advisor in a way for the data applications could be something interesting. So it's potentially not someone that you need to hire or that you need to have full-time working for the company, but at least in this beginning phase when you are looking to establish what will be then the ground for the CDO to work on, when you're building the team, when you're taking the proof of concepts or the use cases to the next level, at that point, yes, it could be beneficial to have someone that is available, that has the experience in that specific niche that you are looking to be better at your company. And I think that's what we have on the AI Guild network, because with the amount of members that we have, it's potentially something that is by the reach, as you said, from a phone call.
I'd then like to take the opportunity and kind of move on. So you just emphasized, I think, also kind of the independence with which we can do it. So one of the things about the AI Guild is that it's not a vendor. So we're not selling you a particular solution, not selling you a particular product. We're offering the support and we're looking for partners to help them deploy and scale. And with that, nevertheless, also comes that, of course, among our members, we have people that work for other companies. We have people that are freelance, but we have also people that have founded companies that provide particular kind of solutions along the value chain of AI, from collecting the data, producing synthetic data, to privacy, to a particular solution, functional use case like a recommender system, onto understanding businesses cases better and offering consultancy services. So we have also among our membership that relatively broad portfolio. And I was thinking that should really be interesting for companies because they can talk to us. We have the network and can make the connection. And if somebody finds out that in their value chain, there's something missing and they actually need an off-the-shelf product to fill the gap, we would know where to get it. And we could even advise independently and say that you have 3 options, A, B, and C, without ourselves, so to speak, having to sell a particular solution or ask them to sign up to a particular platform and do it all on there. I mean, I'm talking like this, obviously, because this is what a lot of companies at the moment are doing.
Yes.
I've also have the idea that they're not always very happy, but they feel they have to do this. So I'm trying to say there's another way.
Yeah, but also to that, it could also be a possibility for collaboration between a larger organization and a startup. So it's not like you have to, on one extreme, build it yourself. On the other extreme, that you have to buy something that is ready and you just use it. But there's also, I think, a lot of potential for collaboration and co-development of solutions. Because exactly, we know the startup founders, we know that a lot of the times they're also looking for adoption of their solution, and that's where we can also combine the need and the solution.
I agree. So how would we do that? So I know that we've been already discussing with some companies, and the AI Guild has the notion of a framework agreement. Can you say a bit more about how this works?
Well, we have again on our page the possibility for anyone to just schedule a call with one of us too, and we would understand what is it that they're looking for now, or what stage your company is in, and what you have for future ideas. So it could be, for example, evaluation of a use case, it could be about the data infrastructure, or it could be about structuring the team. And all of those are in the framework agreement. So we have the PDF, and I think it's 2 pages or maybe 3 pages that we will share with you after this conversation or during the conversation even. And you can take a look at what is it that we deliver, an idea of the timeline, and then we can start discussing a bit more the details, or from examples, we can fill out what is the exact need that your company has.
Indeed. So what you were saying is that through the website, anybody can get in touch. They can actually kind of like schedule a first informal conversation, kind of like this week, next week, so immediately. Then the next thing is that because we've done this now before, we have an idea of what an agreement would look like. So we would be able to provide like an example agreement that people can look at to understand this in more depth, and then actually to kind of customize or create their own and discuss with us discuss with us how to do that. So if you're interested in doing this, one is you can schedule an informal call, a first kind of, and just see where this goes. 2, if you're actually really interested, or after that call are really interested, because we've done this before, we would be able to come to, I think we would be able, from our side, to be able to reach an agreement actually within 30 days. So I'm trying to say we can move fast. So, from, oh, yeah, this is interesting, to a first green light, 30 days, and we can start. Sometimes it won't be that fast, but then it's not on our side, so to speak, but we could. Okay. Then the next thing I think that we have here is that the framework agreement also says, let's do something together for like 3 months, so 90 days. So we're trying to say we can be fast about this, and we can also create with you an agreement that has a short run time, actually. So it's kind of like a trial. It's a test. You can try it and test it out. The budget that is required for this is not so huge. So we're talking a 5-figure budget, perhaps up to perhaps 6 figures, but not more. And you can try it out for 90 days, and then we can iterate fast. So we can do something with you, like come in and evaluate the use cases and make recommendations on how to get your data infrastructure upgraded so that you can scale those use cases. And that can be done in 3 months. And if it all goes well and you like it and you can see the business value and how to deploy, then the rest can be done then over the next 12 months. Or perhaps a bit longer, because of course the other thing that we know, so on the one hand, I'm saying we can do it fast and short and on a trial period, But the other thing that we do know really from our practitioners is if companies are serious about this, if they want to deploy, if they want to scale their use cases, you're looking at an effort 2, 3, 4 years. It's a serious investment. You need to be clear about the return and you need to get it done, and your team will grow possibly way beyond 100 people.
Exactly. For sure, it's something that is not less than 2 years. So the effort, and we know that it's hard to start with such a long-term commitment, 2 years. That's why we offer the initial trial of 3 months, where we can start the relationship and start building or start organizing really what are the foundations to have this work done and reap the benefits after 2, 3, or 4 years.
Exactly. It brings me back to my favorite quip, which isn't mine. It's from one of our practitioners who said the issue in Europe is that people frequently think you can build Alexa with 3 people. Then he said, no, I checked, it's 5,000. And then I said, okay, let's go and check again. Actually, it's 10,000 people working for and on Alexa. Not all of them are NLP engineers, but it actually means there are hundreds of NLP engineers doing this. Yeah. So if we were to think about a company that has actually sells home appliances and they wanted to build a platform, maybe even the platform for home appliances that we use frequently. So this is, I'm thinking home appliances because it's kind of similar to Alexa, and a very prominent Alexa use case actually is to steer your home appliances, the light and the washing machine and the refrigerator, on and off, and temperature and groceries and whatever you think. So, and there are many companies in that space. So if you want to do that, no, with 3 people, you're not building your platform. If we're talking 30 and then perhaps 100, then we're talking industry leadership. So we are able to start light, we're able to start fast, but we also really actually understand what it is that you need to do to make this work and lead and be commercially successful. So I think that's kind of the deal. I noticed we have like 3 minutes left. So final comments from your side.
No, I think this is a pretty exciting vision for any company that is really serious about this, about making this vision reality. So I am really excited to find out who are the companies that would like to talk to us and start working with them on the use case evaluation and data infrastructure and building up the team.
Indeed. So that goes actually back to the link that you shared initially. So on the guild.ai, you have Robust AI, where you can simply contact us and for a first informal chat. It also kind of lists on the page itself some hints about how to structure a first discussion, what are probably services and support that we could offer based on what we know from experience, where companies are. So this is a really simple way to start and work with us on sharing your needs, sharing your requirements, share what you're looking for, share also what you think are the next steps, and using us to kind of understand how to do this fast and how to do this best.
Yes, that's it. I mean, we have been sharing some insights here in this 30-minute slot that we have every week. We also share insights, or we exchange insights in the community on the online spaces. We have the online events that you can check out, where you see the different use cases that the companies from the people of the community. So there is a lot that you can find out, but the best way, or the nicest way, is really to book a call, and then we can exchange directly.
Yes, indeed. So we look forward to that. And then for the last 30 seconds that we have, this happens every Wednesday. It happens every Wednesday at 12:30 Central European Time or Central European Summer Time. What are we doing next week?
We will probably host someone. We have a guest. We try to bring different people so they talk about their areas of expertise. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is the next week.
Yeah. So we do this every Wednesday. Sometimes it's the two of us sharing. Sometimes there is a guest. And we're going to be looking at the various aspects actually of either deploying, so making AI work, or we're going to look at aspects of data career, which is known as the highest standard. So this is the two things that the AI Guild cares most about. Yeah, making data careers work, enable people to have a successful professional life, have more data people, make companies data literate, and help them to really build bigger, impactful teams. And the other one is actually to get it kind of on the road, to make sure it's deployed, it's scalable, and there's a clear business case behind the scalability.
Yes.
Okay, then I think we're done for today. I see it's 1300. So thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Dania. And
Thank
see
you,
you
Chris.
next week.